Imagine this. You're born and raised in the Konakri region of Western India. Your father is a police officer that is known amongst the criminals for all the wrong reasons. You want to climb up the economic ladder, but you want to do it fast, very fast. So you drop out of school, you start your own gang, dubbed by the media the Dawood Company, also known as the D Company, and you take over the Underworld of Mumbai. This is how it started for Dawood Ibrahim, a big time criminal known as the boss of the Mumbai underworld. Dawood Ibrahim is wanted by Interpol, the FBI, and the Indian government on charges of terrorism. In fact, he was named number 3 on the world 10 most wanted fugitives by the FBI and Forbes. He is to this day on the run, but his exact location hasn't been found yet. There are possible clues, but it isn't confirmed at all. It is said he is in Pakistan by the Indian government, and Pakistan has actually indirectly confirmed this by giving info on the passports and properties he has there, but they will not do anything against him. However, due to a long-lasting conflict between those two countries, they will not work together on getting Ibrahim to justice. The price on Dawood Ibrahim's head is $25 million. However, how did this guy become so notorious? Let's look into that. However, before we get into the video, I want to mention that you really need to check out the comment section. Also, make sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to my channel. I want to mention that there's a very important detail at the end of this video. Anyhow, let's get into it. As mentioned earlier, Dawood Ibrahim had a falling out with Bashu Dada, a local mafia don at that time. This was because Bashu Dada had insulted Dawood's father, so Dawood in return attacked Bashu Dada with his friends. To my surprise, there were no consequences for attacking Bashu Dada. In fact, Dada's key enforcer persuaded Dawood to start a smuggling operation of his own, and Dawood did so. This marked the start of the D Company. With the help of Khalid Pahlawan, aka Bashu Dada's key enforcer, Dawood and his elder brother established a smuggling operation. This move led them to ending up on the path of a rival gang called the Pathan Gang. The gang was headed by Karim Lala, a notorious mafia don known for contract killings, forced evictions, kidnappings, and extortion. They were the most influential gang of the Mumbai underworld at that time. However, the D Company eliminated most of the gang's leadership and took their spot. That is how dangerous the D Company actually is. However, this was merely the start. At that point, the D Company wasn't really known by the public, but that would come to a change. On the 12th of March 1993, there was a series of bomb explosions in Mumbai, India. It started with a very powerful car bomb in the basement of a stock exchange. The building was severely damaged, and the buildings nearby was damaged as well. That is how powerful the car bomb was. It was said that 50 people lost their lives in the first car bomb. However, this would be just a start. 12 other bombings would occur in the following hours. These bomb explosions resulted in 275 deaths and 1,400 injuries. A total of 13 bombs were exploded. This was a crazy terrorist attack by Dawood Ibrahim. It reminds me of the narco terrorism done by Pablo Escobar. The D Company was said to be behind the explosions. This and many other terrorist links lead to Dawood Ibrahim being classified as a terrorist by the United States and India. To make it worse, people in power, the politicians, the chief minister of that state or area actually lied about the key details of the bombing, the Mumbai bombing. He admitted to lying about who was responsible for the attack. He actually pointed the blame to the Tamil Tigers, which is a Sri Lankan terrorist organization. To be honest, I am not surprised at all with this. After all, it is politics which has allowed Dawood to evade the law, all from the start, and this has been really clear for me from the start. Besides the horrible effects this attack had on the people itself in the area, it actually did something really even worse, which was that it caused a rift in the D Company. The chief minister said that both Hindus and Muslims were affected. This caused a rift with the Hindus within the D Company. Dawood's former right-hand man, Chota Rajan, split away from the gang and took most of the Hindus with him. This event caused a gang war in Mumbai, which is still going on until this day. Dawood Ibrahim has been notorious for having links to terrorist organizations. The 1993 Mumbai bombings wasn't the first thing that showed what Dawood was capable of doing. Dawood had connections to Al-Qaeda and its leader Osama bin Laden, as well as Lashkar-e-Toiba. He actually traveled to Afghanistan under the protection of the Taliban in the 1990s. However, this link to terrorism must have to do with the bottom line, which is money. There's a lot of money to be made with selling guns to terrorists and making everything much easier for them. Also, the Taliban controls the drug production in Afghanistan, and so do many other terrorist organizations in their respective home country. So it makes perfect sense that Dawood Ibrahim, a big-time drug kingpin, is working with them. The money made with narcotics must have been a lot of money, since it really shows in Dawood and his wife's lifestyle. Dawood Ibrahim's house is dubbed the White House. Not a lot is known about this house except for the name. However, something very notable I have found on Dawood Ibrahim was an intercepted call between Dawood Ibrahim and a member of his gang or organization. It really this segment really shows the luxury they are living in.
हाँ जी दे
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
बस क्या हाल है, सब खैरियत है?
जी अल्लाह का शुक्र है। आप कैसे हैं?
सब अल्लाह के करम है। क्या हुक्म है? फिक्र नहीं आप वो फिक्र करे बगैर बोले।
अभी आंखें दिखाते हैं मुझे।
अरे आप छोड़ो ना, आप मेरे से बात उनकी तरफ देखो ही मत।
अच्छा ठीक है, उनको देखे बगैर मैं बोलती। ठीक है, तो मैं आपको कल बताऊंगी। आपने एक पर्स लेना है।
ठीक है, मुझे बता दीजिएगा। कल के दिन में पक्का दोपहर तक 12-1-2 बजे तक बता दीजिएगा। हो सकता है मैं रात को आ जाऊँ।
मैं आपके वहाँ पे मोबाइल में SMS डाल दूंगी। चैनल का है।
ठीक है,
चैनल पे उस पे जाइएगा। चैनल का ब्रांड है, तो चैनल के ही नाम से है उनका शोरूम। बात है वो है कहाँ पे, वो मैं आपको कल बता देती हूँ।
वो मुझे सब बता दे, पूछ के बता देना।
अच्छा
क्या बोल रहे?
तारिक भाई है ना, उनको मालूम है बैग भी कौन से है और उनको शॉप भी मालूम है, सब कुछ मालूम है।
मैं पता है, आप छोड़ दो। मैं जानू, मेरा काम जाने।
हाँ, उनसे बोलिएगा वो जो चैनल का ब्लैक वाला पर्स मैंने रखवाया है।
आप बेफिक्र हो,
मतलब रखवाया नहीं था, बोल रहे कि आ रहा है, मतलब आ जाएगा अभी कुछ दिनों तक। तो मेरे ख्याल में आ गया होगा उनके पास।
As you can see, the Wood's wife has a taste for very expensive products, and it's a great indicator of their luxurious lifestyle. After all, Dawood Ibrahim's net worth is estimated to be a whopping $6.7 billion. Some say his net worth is estimated to be $20 billion. All this money mostly came from illegal sources of income. However, he has legitimate sources of income as well, and this is pretty obvious since he needs to have a way to launder his money. Dawood Ibrahim made his fortune through narcotics, smuggling, murder, extortion, and much more. However, let's get started with probably one of his biggest operations, and that is narcotics. In the 2000s, Afghanistan and Iran really started becoming large drug producing countries. The drugs that were produced there would be pushed towards huge markets in Europe, United States, and Asia. The drugs that were produced there were being controlled by Dawood Ibrahim. Imagine the crazy amounts of money that he was making from all of this. However, his routes to move the product from point A to B weren't only used for moving drugs, which was something entirely else. It is said that he actually closed a financial deal with Osama bin Laden so that he could use his routes for their own purposes. As mentioned earlier, Dawood traveled with the protection of the Taliban. And one important thing is, if you want to have a successful narcotics operation, you better get the terrorist organizations that are located in those countries in on it. Otherwise, you will have a very hard time with the operation itself. Also, knowing the nature of narcotics, it is most definitely one of his biggest earners, since Dawood's drug operation stretches around the world. In fact, Dawood actually has properties worldwide reportedly used for laundering money. However, one country which I have found that is really worth mentioning for the amount of money that is laundered through real estate there is the United Kingdom. It is estimated that a total of $90 billion is laundered there. Anyhow, after hearing about all of his operations and the money made, you may ask, how did he launder his money? I have two answers for that: Bollywood and real estate. When people think of Dawood Ibrahim, you wouldn't think that he has any involvement of sorts, or even remotely has anything to do with Bollywood. By the way, for those that do not know what Bollywood is like the Hollywood of India. Anyhow, it's time to enlighten you, and that is that Bollywood is so corrupt that in itself it could have been a criminal organization. On the surface, you wouldn't notice that it's corrupt at all, but if you dig a little bit deeper, you'll find pretty clear links to criminals, especially Dawood Ibrahim. You see, there are actual Bollywood movies based on Ibrahim and his criminal organization, which I have found. The movies, which are either loosely or heavily based on Dawood or his criminal organization, are the movie Company and its sequel D. Pretty clear reference to his gang. The D movie actually was the prequel of the story in the Company movie, so it ends up being The Company. These are pretty clear links of Dawood Ibrahim's involvement in Bollywood. But then you'd be asking, what are these links? Dawood Ibrahim is known for financing Bollywood studios while also simultaneously extorting Bollywood celebrities and producers. He was actually involved in the death of two Bollywood producers. To be honest, Bollywood is a great way to launder money as well, because all you have to do is just put money into creating the movie, and then the earnings from that movie you can then use for your own purposes. However, a better way but more riskier way Dawood Ibrahim is laundering his money is through real estate. How laundering through real estate works is that a criminal would invest a lot of illegal money into buildings or land and then generate illegal income from it. A criminal also could mask illegal income as legal income through real estate. And the nature of real estate is that you can make a lot of money at once, so it's pretty effective. However, the name under which the building or land is registered usually would be not on the criminal's name, and this is quite obvious This is especially for criminals with name recognition such as Dawood Ibrahim. And this also explains why Dawood Ibrahim has properties worldwide except for his luxurious lifestyle. However, law enforcement are really starting to crack down on laundering money through real estate. That's why it's becoming pretty risky. Dawood really started being covered by the media from way back. The Mumbai blasts pretty much introduced him to the general public, and it led to constant media coverage from the Indian media until this very day. The media is truly milking him. For example, they are posting articles of weddings of Dawood Ibrahim's family, and they are like literally fabricating videos of him saying stuff. He is really being used as clickbait. He has become like some sort of celebrity. It is alleged that Dawood Ibrahim is residing in Pakistan, and if he is residing in Pakistan, he is pretty much untouchable. This is because the Pakistani government frequently denies the claim that he is residing in Pakistan. So that would mean that they aren't doing anything to him if he were to reside in their country. Besides that, the Pakistani government does not want to work with India with regards to getting him to justice if he is in the country. This could indicate great corruption. If it is true, he resides there. Whether his location will be found, I have no idea, but I will make a follow-up video if there is more information released, or if he gets brought to justice. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching my video until the end if you reach this point. The detail I didn't mention is that Dawood Ibrahim is filthy rich for one reason, and that is because he smashed the like button and subscribed to the channel. Be like Dawood Ibrahim and do the same thing, please. We need to get somewhere by next year. Anyhow, good luck.